press the button? Okay. Yeah, we're at the Manitoba Comic-Con event this year. It's October 31st. It's actually Halloween Eve day right now. There's people coming into the show. We have some big-name celebrities here. Right now I'm standing in front of a robot here of Michael Myers. We have the actor that played in the first version of the Halloween series, James B. Winburn, and we're just going to conduct a quick interview with him to see all about how he got to choose the role and how he enjoyed playing Michael Myers, the most feared person in any horror genre movie series I've been seen. So he's just setting up his booth. He's got a lot of props here. He's signing autographs today. Autographs are $20, autograph tape for $10, and personal photo only for $10. So we're just going to see if we can grab a quick interview because they've announced actually that he's going to be autographing very soon for the fans of the Halloween franchise. And I can see that he's also got a wig and a mask here that he used for the Michael Myers movies. We'll just pan around and just look at the table here to see what kind of props James brought here, besides the guy with the knife. So we're just going to zoom in and take a look at what kind of props we have here. This is a John Carpenter movie. James was actually telling me that John Carpenter wrote the soundtrack, that eerie music you hear for the movie. So I was just saying that it's probably the second most feared music score next to Jaws. Every time somebody hears that one, they get scared of going in the bathtub or the water. So this could be the same with Halloween movie, this very eerie thing. And you can see that this is actually a fake knife here that we have. It's not real. It's plastic, but it's got fake blood on it. And you can see that this person here is moving around. So we'll just let James finish setting up here, and then we'll actually just ask him a few questions about how he got into acting and how he chose the Halloween franchise as one of his first movies, probably the well-known movies, Michael Myers, the character there. So we're just going to wander over here. I see he's got some trick-or-treats out here. He's got some candy here for the kids that come by and maybe they want their autograph here. So this Comic-Con event has been doing really well this year. They've had a big crowd on Friday here, and they expect this is the last day. They're open until 6 o'clock tonight, so they expect a good crowd for Halloween Eve here. And you can see that there are some people out here. We'll just take a pan of the audience here just to see what kind of people we have here. We've got all ages here, young adults, mothers, fathers. We've even got some characters dressed up in some sci-fi costumes. They look like the Star Wars characters there. Just to give you an idea, we'll just pan around the Comic-Con and just to give you an idea what kind of crowd we have here. It's still early Sunday morning, about 11:15, so we have a long ways to go to closing time today. So we'll just maybe see while James is setting up if we can interview some characters here. We'll just go around here maybe and just see if we can ask these robots here. Hello. Yeah, I'm just having a little interview and I was wondering if I could ask you guys some questions. What character are you representing? These people are not too much into sci-fi. Could you explain to our audience what characters you are and what movie you're from or TV series?
It's from Star Wars. We're Republic Commandos. It's a type of clone trooper.
Clone trooper. And have you come every year as a clone trooper?
No, this is the first year we're at the Comic-Con as clone troopers.
And what other characters have you come before?
I've done a Mandalorian, and I'm not sure what he's done.
And do you actually make up the costume right from scratch yourself, or do you buy it at a store?
You don't buy it at a store. There are people that make the molds and then they heat plastic onto the molds and you get it as a kit. But you still have to put it together and paint it up, and you know, it's a lot of work.
So it looks very expensive. Is it quite costly to buy these kind of costumes then if you have to have custom made?
That really depends on what you consider expensive.
And what about yourself? Is this the first time you've come into this character too?
No, I've worn this about 12 times this year. It's the first time at this convention, though.
So I take it you're a big fan of franchises of movies out there?
Absolutely, yes, definitely.
Met any famous celebrities here? Got their autograph or said hello to them?
The only one that we've met here from Star Wars would be Orly Chauchan.
Well, thanks for talking with us and enjoy the show.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, so we just interviewed some characters there from that it's their first time to this convention here, and they basically said that one guy's played in 12 years and the other guy's just started this year coming to this event here. So we're just going to go see now if we can go back to James Winburn. Actually, we'll just walk by the celebrity tables. We'll just take a quick walk by and we'll just see who's all here. We have Ori Shawson here. She's from Star Wars. There's James Winburn. Jack O'Halloran apparently couldn't make it. I was talking to somebody and they mentioned he has heart surgery, so he's doing a video conference today between 3 and 4 o'clock. He's from the Superman franchise. We have Garrett Wang here. I believe he's from Star Trek.
He is from Enterprise, yes. He's
Star Trek Enterprise, and he's a bit late, so he'll be here. And we also have Lee Tokar here, and let's see where this person's from. It looks like, it says Deception Ravage. He has some kind of event. Oh, where's my you have my stuff. Great. Okay, and we also have Rebecca Stamp here too. She's been into different movies here. I think she's actually been in some she's been into some CSI TV series as guest appearances. Seinfeld, she's been in. So we see lots of different photographs of her. I'm a big CSI fan. And fantastic. So you can see that. And she'll be here all day, right till closing time, till 3. Okay. So these are just the various characters she played. She's got some Pez holders there.
Yeah, exactly.
And here's a picture we have when she was in the Fantastic Four. I think I saw that movie there.
Doesn't have the energy.
If you go in the car and get my computer and entertain
See, you can see that she's been in a lot of different TV. Nip Tuck. I remember all these ones. CSI. Do you mind if we ask you a few questions?
Josh, do you mind if I finish?
Oh, okay, sure, okay.
I'm eating my Halloween candy.
Okay. Yeah, it's trick or treat night. I think this might be the first time this has appeared on Halloween Eve, this event. So, and they're shooting a horror movie outside in Winnipeg right today.
Oh, are they?
Starting at midnight. It's called Goons. It's a hockey horror movie.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, so right in Carleton, starting at midnight tonight, they'll be shooting a horror movie here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That was a good idea.
Yeah.
What can they answer for you?
Yeah, just wondering, is it your first time to Winnipeg? We're just this lady's just going to University of Winnipeg taking a film directing course.
Oh, okay.
She's learning the art of filmmaking. We're just going around to talk to people and see how they come here if they're first-time visitors. And how do you like it so far in Winnipeg if it's your first time?
It is my first time in Winnipeg, and I love it. Everybody has just been unbelievably nice, and it was nice because my first night here I actually had some snow, so that was a novelty. But yeah, the show's been great, and yeah, I haven't seen that much of the city at all because I've been in here mostly. But we drove around a little bit when I first arrived, and drove around the other night after dinner, and very, very content here. I grew up in Nebraska, so there's elements of it that feel very, very home-like for me.
And how did you get involved in the movies? How did you choose that as a career? People are always wondering how people choose movies as a career, because it is hard work and it's a lot of work you have to do.
That's a very long and loaded question. I actually didn't choose it. It was funny. Yeah, how did I end up? I was in college, and I had no intention to ever be an actor. I was in theater in high school and college, and like theater was always an elective, and I would have loved to be an actor, but it just didn't seem practical or logical. And I was just modeling at the time locally, and to make a huge long story short, ended up going to Europe with modeling, and then when I came back to New York with modeling, my agency sent me on an audition for a soap opera, and I went on it and got it. So it all just kind of snowballed from there. So I don't have one of those real hard luck stories. Mine was kind of nice because the first thing I auditioned for I got. And then, decided it was the greatest job in the world. So, that was 25 years ago. and I'm still doing it, but yeah, it's unbelievably hard work because you spend more time not working than working, and you usually work harder during the downtimes trying to keep everything up and running so that when you work, you know, it's a very it's a very time-consuming profession. I mean, unbelievably rewarding, and I wouldn't change it, and that's why I'm still doing it. But yeah, you know, it takes a lot of courage because there's you know, a lot of rejection, and you just can't take anything personally and just work on your craft.
Have you got any memories of working with some nice people that you've worked in the past with the co-stars in your TV series or movies?
I had the greatest working experience. Probably the most fun and nicest, most wonderful person that I worked with was Ellen DeGeneres. I did the Ellen show when she had her own show, and actually in the episode I married her brother. So I was really Ellen's sister-in-law, and I have never had more fun working in my life. I mean, it was just like you even forget that you were working. So that was really great. Seinfeld, you know, was great. I did Cheers, great. So, you know, sitcoms generally are more fun to work on because it's funny and there's a different energy in the room. Actually, Fantastic Four, when I worked on this film, it was really nice because, you know, it was a really good example of a low-budget film. I think some of my best working experiences in film were ironically low-budget films as opposed to the big-budget films, because in a low-budget film it's more of a collaborative effort, and everybody there's an energy and an excitement and a team, just a bond that, you know, because you never have enough money and you never have enough time, and it's like, well, welcome to the world of filmmaking, because that's going to always be the story. But yeah, Fantastic Four was really nice because it really felt like a buddy film off and on the screen, that it was just, you know, everybody pitches in and works long hours and really hard, and every department, you know, kind of assists the other department if somebody's short on time or manpower. So yeah, those are some of my favorite work experiences.
Have you done much filming work in Canada yet? I know Vancouver does a lot of productions out there, TV series.
Yeah, you know, I shot, gosh, years ago in Vancouver there was a series that I worked on called The Hat Squad. I'm trying to think when that was like in 1992. In Calgary a number of years ago I shot, what was it show? It had the guy drove a Viper. What was the name of it? I can't remember the name of that show. No, not Renegade. Can't remember the name of that show, but I shot. So I think those are the only two places that I've actually filmed. I mean, I spend a lot of time in Canada. I spend a lot of time in Toronto. Do you want to wait till that?
Wanting to enter into the Magic Tournament featuring a first prize of 4 copies of Jason the Mind Sculptor. This is your last
It's kind of pointless to talk over that.
Please come by, sign up immediately if you are interested in playing in that tournament.
Yeah, I actually spend a lot of time in Canada, and I'm actually in the process of getting my Canadian residency because I want to work in Canada. There's so much work. There's actually probably more work in Vancouver. Sorry.
Mariano's workshop has been rescheduled to 1 p.m. in the Transformers screening room. Again, Marvin Mariano's workshop has been rescheduled to 1 p.m. in the Transformers screening room.
Yeah, I was saying there's almost more work in Vancouver right now than there is in Los Angeles. So I'm looking forward to being up here a lot. I mean, it's a great place, you know, to work. I was in Regina this summer. My boyfriend's starring in a new series that the CBC is doing that they shot in Regina called Insecurity. So I was there with him this summer, and hopefully it'll get picked up, and they'll be back in Regina. So, you know, there's really stuff all over Canada, and most of my friends are Canadian, and everybody's always up here working, so I want to be part of the party.
Well, thanks very much for talking with us. We really appreciate it, and I want to welcome you to Winnipeg.
Well, thank you.
We're very friendly people here.
Well, thank you. I love it. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. Just conducting an interview today. This lady's taking a film director course at University of Winnipeg. And I'm sort of mentoring her, and we're just going around to talk to people about they've been to our city before. First time to Comic-Con here. Have you been? Would that be okay?
Sure.
Okay. So your name is Orly?
Orly Shoshana.
Orly Shoshan? Orly Shoshan. Okay. Okay, we're talking with Orly Shoshan, and you're from the TV, movie, and TV series of what?
I played in Star Wars in Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, and Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, directed by George Lucas.
And have you always been in sci-fi, or have you done other things before you started in sci-fi movies? Where did your career start at? In theater, or drama, or at university, college?
Okay. I actually started more in modeling. Most of my work was modeling work, and then I got into acting. I did lots of TV commercials, and I was participate in aerobic show. Those are actually my only 2 films that I played in. But now I'm more into acting. I went to acting school, and I involved in a couple of projects. And yeah, hopefully you're going to see me in more stuff.
So did you go to acting school back in LA, Los Angeles?
No, I actually went to acting school in Israel. Yes, but now I live in Chicago and work with an agency, and yeah, pretty much soon you're going to see me in some other stuff.
So would you still lean towards sci-fi series, or are you open to other, like I know some people do TV series and movies and various things that they do?
Okay. I'm definitely going to do some sci-fi, but yeah, I'll do anything else, not only sci-fi. To be honest, I wasn't open to sci-fi before I actually got involved in Star Wars, and I have to admit I appreciate it so much. I feel so lucky to be involved in Star Wars. I think it's such a big production, and it's such a big industry. I get to do so many conventions around the world, meet so many fans, and it's just an entire world. It's something else, and it's just to be a part of history. It's not only another film to be involved in, and I appreciate it very much. Yeah.
These are trained professionals.
Well, welcome to Winnipeg. If this is your first visit here, I've been here myself 25 years. How you found the fans so far?
Oh, they're lovely. They're very nice and friendly. Unfortunately, I didn't have the chance to walk around and see Winnipeg. But definitely, just the people are very nice, and here in the convention, they're taking care of us. And it's my first time in Canada, yeah, so hopefully to come here again and visit some other cities. And yes, it's very nice. Thank you.
Well, thanks very much for talking with us.
It's a pleasure. I hope you're having a good time.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Hi.
Yeah, we're standing right now beside James B. Winburn with a robot, the Michael Myers, and we just want to ask you how long you've been involved in the movie industry and how you chose the Michael Myers role as Halloween, as the most scariest person of all time.
Well, I've been in the movies for over 55 years. My first involvement in films, which was a television show, was with Warner Brothers as an extra as a kid when I was about in junior rodeo. Then Air Force, and came back. So I've been working ever since I got out of the Air Force. I still work, but I'm supposed to be retired. Been out working involvement with doing Halloween, the original one in 1978, the first one that John Carpenter and Deborah Hill wrote the script and all that stuff, was the classic of all of them. It was only a $300,000 show, and plus $20,000, which were 1 week work for Donna Pleasant. And so I was under contract with Warner Brothers doing Police Story, and they asked me if I'd come over and work with them in the evenings after I got off the show. So we made arrangements, and we did, and I did whatever John, and that's when I met John, and I worked and doubled Nick Castle, who was the original Michael Myers, because he was John Carpenter's buddy, and they graduated from SC Film School. And then they brought in Tony Moran to look like the 21-year-old kid, what he looked like about 19, to pull the mask off. And Nick looked too old, and I looked too old, because I was in my 40s at that time, and that was 33 years ago, so that gives away my age. And but Deborah Hill and Don Behrens and Dean Cunney, the cameraman, and Tommy Lee Wall, we worked on many films before that, which were budget non-union shows, except it was Screen Actor Guild waiver. And So we all knew each other really well, and they couldn't afford anything with a $300,000 budget, and they said they didn't need any accidents or any kind of lawsuits or. So what they did is a case of kids, you know, and all the things, and or people getting hurt. So they knew that I was a no-fuss guy. So I came in and did all the heavy work and worked with the actors and the kids to make sure they didn't get hurt, and whatever John wanted me to do to overlap Nick Castle and Tony Moran. And that's how I basically got the job.
So have you been doing mostly horror, scary, drama-type movies most of your life? Have you done comedy or any other genres?
No. I did a number of major horror shows. I directed a few. No, I doubled Barry Bostwick for off and on for 22 years. Peter O'Toole and a lot of his shows. Dennis Weaver and McLeod and a bunch of his shows, Emerald Point. And I doubled with George Hamilton and Centennial and a few other shows on that. David Hasselhoff, a Knight Rider, through the whole series of that. I doubled that, you know, and did all the fights and jumps and, you know, all that stuff. I have over almost what I've been told by my kids who went through all my records, that I have over 620 television shows, films all over the world, you know, commercials, documentaries, industrials. And, you know, and that's not counting the directing stage and working stage and equity and outdoor drama and doing theme park shows for Warner Brothers and Universal, like Batman show, Robin Hood, all over the world.
I've noticed a lot of the actors in Hollywood, like Clint Eastwood, are actually going to the directing chair now. Do you see yourself doing that, perhaps, maybe trying director versus acting?
Well, as you get older, you get smarter, and the ground gets harder, and it gets harder to get up. And but I've directed 5 films already, and one was a horror movie, and the rest of them was one was a war movie with a drama, another one was a half and half drama with a little bit of mystic Arab museum type stuff, you know, being stolen and with killing, murders, and all that stuff. And then I've taken over a lot of shows on independent productions where they're halfway through and they have a problem between the producer and the director walked, so they shut down the show. So they bring me in and I go through their production thing and I finish up their show and tighten it up and help them edit it. And so I've done a number of those. So I've been doing it for quite a few years. I have a show coming out that I'll be, after I finish these contracts on a contract I just signed on a production down in Florida, which will be on one of the satellite stations called Running under an MG production. I'll be doing the pilot and 2 episodes of that as an actor. Then I come back and we're going to do a Western up in Utah, and I've been signed a part on that, which is a lot of horse work and stunt stuff. And I do whips and guns, and I do all that mounts and all that stuff. I don't know if I can still do it at my age, but I'm going to try. And then after all those are done, we start my project, which is The Night of the Howl, which will start production in 2012. And that will be, it's actually a historical film based on after the Civil War, where you have carpetbaggers and they were hanging people, you know, to get their properties down to Kentucky and all the way up to Texas and all the way to Arizona, and it's a little drama of a lot of movies here and there, but it's based on a true story, and it's called Night of the Howl. After they lynched somebody, they would ride through the towns and the villages and farmlands of the homesteaders and the different farmers that were in poverty and all that at that period of time. And they would howl to frighten them, to keep them in position that this is what's going to happen to you if you buck the system. And it's a story about that.
Do you have any favorites, actors that you've worked with in the past that you really enjoyed working with, females or males?
Oh yeah, David Hasselhoff was great to work with. Barry Bostwick, I wouldn't be so long to say it, but after off and on for 22 years, you know, with him, he's wonderful. And Dennis Weaver, I doubled him, but he very seldom ever talked to me. George Hamilton was great to work with. Before Stuart Granger passed away, he did a show over in Fox, and I doubled him, and that was probably one of the biggest thrills I ever had. Even at then, because he was an international star and did all those movies back in the 50s and all that stuff, which was really great. And so when they asked me, and it was like Raiders of the Lost Ark type, but it's down in South America, and doubling him and going and listening to the stories and what he thought about life and all that stuff, and we had a good relationship just in that one movie, and then the following year he passed away. And so there's only a few actors that I really would never mention their name, that I think they're a little weird, that they're not my type of person or anybody else, but they do look good on film. But in reality, most people in Hollywood, the good ones that really are professionals and take care of their jobs with the television or film, and they work hard, they know their lines, they don't step on the lines, they don't get really out of shape when, you know, and jump on the crew and all that stuff, you know, for anything. Most of them are I've never really had any major problems. There was only a few people, and if they start giving problems, I just walk away and then let them resolve, you know, and because it's not my point of view I came there to work, I didn't come there to argue, you know, and I belonged to the Stuntman Association for over 45 years, which is one of the primo stunt groups in the movie industry. And all the professional people, when they started back in 1963, were all the top stuntmen of the movies, the John Waynes and all the Randolph Scotts that made history in filmmaking. Well, they were our pioneers. They were the people that made the film industry and got a lot of the stuff changed in Screen Actor Guild. But they were my mentor, and they made me the knowledge they gave me made me have a very successful career.
Have you had a chance to work in Canada yet? Because I know there's a big film in Vancouver and Toronto out here.
No, I haven't never been asked or anything like that, because I don't know since the new society under the government for the actors and the stunt guys and all that stuff. It's very hard for American stuntman to come up here and work, you know, and you have to go through whatever the producer's agreement between Screen Actor Guild and, you know, the United States and Canada. I don't know the politics of it, but I've never been asked, no.
And is it your first time to Canada, Winnipeg?
No.
Have you been here before?
Oh, yes. I was here in '64. And we did, in fact, right up in Winnipeg here. We came up here and did a pickup shot out, and it didn't look the same as today, let me tell you. And we were here for a week, and then we went back to North Dakota, and we finished the show in North Dakota.
We'll be on the main stage at 12 noon.
Well, thanks very much for talking with us, and enjoy the show, and hope you like our city and have a chance to check it out.
Well, I appreciate that very much. People have been really nice. I really enjoyed myself here. You got a great convention going, and the people that run the convention here are really primo. And all the booths and all the characters and all the actors and celebrities here are just nice people, and they are professional.
Well, thank you very much, and welcome to Winnipeg, and thanks for the interview.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm standing with here a volunteer, looks like, from the Comic-Con. You've been a volunteer for a few years, I understand, says volunteer.
Third year.
Third year? Can you tell me why you volunteer and what you get out of the show?
Because of you. Because you said, why don't you come out, and we liked it. And then last year we did what we're doing this year, which is registration. We love that. We get to see everybody as soon as they come in. I check for wristbands, and I put a little ticket for the fire marshal. Fire marshal's got to know how many people are in here. And it was 3 the first day. 3. If you have a weekend pass, 3 per person. If it's a day pass, 1. If it's a kid, it's a different color. And you got to make sure everybody's here. Everybody's got wristbands, very secure here. You can't have a sword carried around. You got to put them in the back. The security guards are very fussy about that. Can't have any food out of the tables. Hide it underneath. That's, I think, because of regulations, because they want you to buy food. We've had a lot of people. It was disappointment that Ray wasn't here, Ray and Jack, but they had a sign with downstairs, which was good, that he wasn't here. A lot of people complained that some people came last year for a certain person, and they weren't here and they were mad. So I'm glad about that.
And I understand that Jack is actually doing a video conference later today to do that.
About that, he couldn't come here because of his back. He was medically, they said he can't fly, but he's doing this, which is great. And we got this guy from Halloween, that's good. So we haven't got as big as last year, but we got the people that count. And we were packed here last night. From all day, it could hardly move. And it's got nice big areas for the fire marshal again. Yeah, there's a video similarly. I know this guy that does the zombie movie, zombie makeup. I knew him from a little kid. That's how long I've known him, and he does that now. He's doing it for whatever. Isn't that great?
Okay, thanks very much for talking with us. We'll let you go on and carry on. Okay.
We got the who?
Isn't it cute? Wow.
You will be exterminated.
No, what? Uh-oh. Okay, I have another volunteer here. Her name is Carrie Deagle, and I understand she's volunteered for a few years. And we just want to find out how you got involved in Comic-Con and what's your fascination with this convention.
My husband actually was involved in it. And we know a friend. His name is Mike Polly, and he works at Raven Comics. And he got us involved in Comic-Con.
And what kind of movies or comic book does your husband like? What's his attraction to this kind of event?
Star Wars and many others. He just basically comes because he wants to have a good time and look at all the bargains and stuff. So.
And has he had a chance to meet any famous celebrities from these different TV series or movies?
Actually, yeah. Last year, we met Peter Mayhew from Star Wars. He plays Chewbacca, and we met several other celebrities from